Hi, everyone, and welcome to The Path to Reason. Today, we're going to talk about takes all my energy, and it's been very, very hard to just sit in front of the camera lately. So, thanks for all your support, especially Richard. You've been great, and uh, in fact, it's because of what you said to me a couple of days ago that I'm here. Thanks everyone in the chat, Critical Cripple and everyone else. And I wanted also to congratulate Jenna Belk, who had her baby yesterday. So yay to them. Um, I will update the comment of the videos and add the list she made earlier in case you just want to give a gift to the baby or to her. And that's it. So tonight we're going to talk about um, an argument I hear or read a lot when we talk about religion and atheists. Very often, atheists tend to talk about the evil, the harm religions do to societies and have done in the past. And then theists try to deflect this by saying that atheism is also responsible for some atrocities like in Russia in 1917, and later with all the dictators they've been, like China also. They also pretend that Hitler was an atheist, which is not true. But I wanted to go deeper in this argument from both sides, because I think that when atheists use it, sometimes it's wrong, and I'm going to use two concrete examples uh, to make the distinction between the whether violence is caused by religion, or is it just a byproduct, or just an excuse, or just someone commits an atrocity and then just happens to be a theist. So, what criteria do we use to decide whether an atrocity or any action really is committed in the name of religion, or in the name of any idea? In my opinion, the way to do that is to think about, if this idea disappears, does the behavior disappears too? Or if the idea, the idea, the doctrine hadn't been here in the first place, then the event wouldn't have taken place. And I think that that's very important. And also, of course, there is the notion of, was the action made in the name of the of the belief, or the doctrine? For example, if you look at Russia, all the murders committed in the 60s, 70s, they were not made in the name of atheists. They were made in the name of power. The doctrine was, I want power over everyone. That's Stalin's view, and that's the Chinese view currently. It's, we want power over everything and everyone. So the only way to achieve this is to make sure everyone thinks the way you want them to think. And anything that could lead them uh, to think critically, or to realize that what they're doing is wrong, will be shut down or killed, or whatever. And so whatever happens in China with the Uyghurs at the moment, or what happened with Stalin, it has nothing to do with atheism. Atheism is just it's just a byproduct of the real doctrine, which is power. I want more power. I want power over everyone. So anyone who has an idea that might get in conflict with the power in place, then this is taken away, whether it's religion, whether it's other parties, other doctrines, medias that can contradict the power in place. All that is basically the same thing. So yes, we need to make sure first that the action is committed in the name of the belief. But even then, sometimes it's not entirely the case. Let's take, for example, the first case I wanted to talk about. It's what happened, what was discovered in Canada a couple of weeks ago. 215 kids, corpses of kids below a Christian school. And so they were there because during a period in the last century, Christianity, so 2/3 of those schools were held by the Catholic Church, and the rest were held by other theists, mostly associations. So the idea was to take the children from natives family and make sure that the children have the Occidental and Christian education. So the kids were taken by force from their parents. Their parents never got any information from their kid, sometimes for years, for decades. Hi, Kyle. Nice to see you here. And so the kids were raped, were abused physically and psychologically. The worst atrocities happened to her, and when they died, they were thrown into a pit below the school. So the question is that caused by religion? And I would say that we cannot know for sure what's the proportion of I do that because I'm Christian, and I do that because I believe my civilization is better than the other one. And there's this tribalism that we all have as human beings, which can be very strong once you are in a group with the same idea, the same ideology, the same religion. But I would argue that in this situation, tribalism is, in my opinion, the bigger cause to those actions. Religion was just something added to that, and that made them happen for a longer time, because of course Christianity cannot be controlled or even checked or taken accountable for their actions. So this lasted for a very long time. But again, if we want to ask the question, was this caused by religion? I think that's a bad question. We need to ask, what are the causes of these actions? Because as humans, we are emotional creatures. We have a lot of thought patterns. We are all very different in the way we think, but the basics of our psychology is the same for everyone, and we have our emotions and our thought patterns that are extremely entangled, and it's hard to say which part of these ideas or way of thinkings lead to a specific action. So we cannot say for sure this is because of the religion or this is because of tribalism, but the best we can do is try to evaluate the percentage of those reasons. Um, the point is not to assign blame bad theists or all these things. We need to understand things so we can make sure they don't happen again. And that's why we need to have a precise comprehension of what happens in those people's minds, because we need to make sure we can avoid it in the future. The second example I wanted to share is quite similar to the Canadian one. So between 1920 and the late 70s in Ireland, which is a very, very Catholic country, the government delegated the management of single mothers to some nuns Christian congregations, because in Catholicism, a single mother is living in sin because the kid was born outside marriage, so it cannot be, the kid is not sacred, or I don't remember how they say that, but a child that's born outside of marriage is one of the biggest sins possible. So since these women and these kids have to face a big stigmas in those situations and in those cultures, the government decided to send those women to some nuns congregations. And so because of this belief that those children are not worthy, to say, to put it bluntly, again, they treated the kids very badly. They didn't care about them. They didn't cure them when they were sick. And they didn't deserve to be buried because they were born outside marriage. So they were thrown into big holes. One has been discovered, I think it was in 2017, and it contained almost 700 children. And so when this history came out, the nuns that were still alive, they decided not to cooperate with the families and the government and the police. They didn't provide the name of the kids that were buried. They didn't provide the name of the mothers. They just said, fuck you. So in this situation, I don't see how we can say that this is not 100% caused by religion, because the stigma that these women face is caused by religious doctrine. The idea that kids are not worthy if they're born outside marriage, that's also a Christian Catholic idea. And everything that happens in this situation is only caused by Christianity and Catholicism especially. So in this case, and we know that there are at least 5 or 6 other pits like this with at least 600, 700 kids inside. So around 3,000 kids who died and will never be identified just because of Catholicism. So even though in this case we can definitely say that this is caused by religion, this is extremely rare in the fact that most of the time there is other reasons than religion. The Crusades, for example, it's about pride from the royal families. It's about getting lands. It's about prestige. It's about tribalism also, it's about also religion, but there are different reasons. Inquisition, for example, it's a lot about religion, but also a lot about power and maintaining it. So, as atheists, we need to be more careful and more balanced when we discuss these matters, because we need to be sure and to make sure that we say, wait, not everything is caused by religion, not every harm is caused by religion. Many harm is caused by us being humans, or tribalism, or lack of humor sometimes, or all those big flows, anger, jealousy, that make us do very bad things. So be measured in your criticism when you talk about this with theists, and make sure you ask yourself the question: would this thing had happened if there hadn't been any religion involved? And then you might be able to discuss this in a better way, and because absolutes never never get you to productive discussions. So that's it for tonight. I will probably discuss this again in another show in the next weeks. So again, thank you all for being here. Thank you for your support. Thank you for everyone who subscribed. And if you did like this video, please like, subscribe, share. If you think you like my approach about critical thinking, also like subscribe, send me messages. You have down below the Linktree link that will give you all my accounts on social medias, including the Amazon wishlist I created if you want to help my channel grow. I don't have any Patreon, that's why I have this Amazon wishlist. And again, thank you everyone, and see you next time.